Frustrated with American car engines that can't stand the test of time? Well, you're in luck, because in today's video, we're diving into the 10 most reliable American engines in the world. Engines that keep running strong, even after hundreds of thousands of miles. The Chrysler Slant 6 engine powered vehicles and commercial trucks from 1959 to 2000, staying in production for over 40 years. Designed by Mopar in the 1950s, the six-cylinder engine became famous for its durable and dependable build. It was so tough that it earned the nickname bomb-proof, setting it apart from other engines of its era. The engine boasts 225 cubic inches or 3.7 liters, 145 horsepower, and 215 pound-feet of torque. Its bore measured 3.40 inches, with a stroke of 4.12 inches. The Slant 6's range from 170 to 225 cubic inches made it versatile for various vehicles, from compact cars to trucks. Drivers love the Slant 6 for its economy, ease of servicing, and incredible longevity. Properly maintained, it could run smoothly for hundreds of thousands of miles. Looking for robust, high-mileage engines? Chevrolet's Gen 3 and Gen 4 small block engines are legendary for their reliability and strength. Introduced in 1997, these engines were designed with advanced materials and engineered to continue Chevrolet's small block tradition. Trucks equipped with these engines often surpassed 300,000 miles without needing major repairs. The Gen 3 engine was 350 cubic inches or 5.7 liters, 345 horsepower, and 350 pound-feet of torque. The Gen 4 engine was larger at 376 cubic inches, 6.2 liters, and delivering up to 495 horsepower and 473 pound-feet of torque. Both engines shared a 3.62-inch stroke, while the Gen 4 increased the bore to 4.065 inches, compared to the Gen 3's 3.9 inches. These power plants were strong enough for extended use and highly modifiable for turbochargers or superchargers. Maintaining reliability even under extreme performance demands, they're widely celebrated in GM's heavy vehicles and sports cars. The Ford 300 inline-6 engine, also known as the 4.9-liter engine, is one of Ford's toughest and longest-lasting engines. Built between 1965 and 1996, it powered F-Series trucks, E-Series vans, and later generations of the Bronco. Its reputation, practically unbreakable. This engine could endure extreme workloads, only failing under complete neglect, like running without oil or coolant. The 300 cubic inch 4.9-liter engine produced 145 horsepower and 265 pound-feet of torque. Its 4-inch bore and 3.98-inch stroke made it ideal for heavy-duty tasks. A key design feature was its timing gears instead of timing chains. Unlike chains which stretch or break over time, gears were durable and reliable, even if noisier. For many Ford fans, this durability made it well worth the trade-off. When Chrysler acquired American Motors Corporation, or AMC, in 1987, it inherited one of the most reliable inline-6 engines ever built. The AMC Jeep 4.0-liter. This engine, part of AMC's inline-6 family, was electronically fuel-injected in the 1980s. It delivered between 177 and 190 horsepower and 235 pound-feet of torque, with a steady torque curve that made it perfect for off-road and work applications. Built between 1987 and 2006, the 4.0-liter engine had a displacement of 241 cubic inches, a bore of 3.8 inches, and a stroke of 3.41 inches. Its ruggedness allowed vehicles equipped with this engine to surpass 300,000 miles with minimal maintenance. Its torque and durability made it a favorite for Jeep owners tackling all-terrains. The Buick 3800 V6 engine traces its origins to the Buick Fireball V6 of the early 1960s. By the 1980s, the 3.8-liter version, or 3800, had solidified its reputation for fuel efficiency and long-term reliability. Constructed with iron blocks and heads, the 3800 came in 3 series. Series 1 and Series 3 engines were particularly durable, while Series 2 engines faced issues with intake gaskets and coolant bypass elbows. However, once those problems were addressed, the engine could run smoothly for decades. With a displacement of 231 cubic inches or 3.8 liters, the 3800 produced 260 horsepower and 280 pound-feet of torque. Its 3.8-inch bore and 3.4-inch stroke made it a great balance of power and reliability. The Series 1 and Series 3 engines were some of the most durable ever made, and they performed exceptionally well. However, Series 2 engines faced problems, issues with intake gaskets and coolant bypass elbows that could lead to engine failure if left unaddressed. But when these problems are fixed, the engine can run smoothly for many years. Since the late 1980s, Buick's 3800 engine became the heart of many full-size General Motors vehicles. These engines powered some of the most popular cars from Buick, Pontiac, Oldsmobile, and even some Chevys. They continued in GM full-size vehicles until 2008. The Ford 4.6-liter 2V modular V8 engine began replacing the venerable 5.0 Windsor V8 in the early 1990s. Did fans love it? Not at first. Many Ford enthusiasts thought this was a step backwards, as the engine didn't deliver the high power some had anticipated from its overhead cam design. But here's the twist. The 4.6-liter 2-valve engine gained a solid reputation for robustness and reliability. First introduced in the 1991 Lincoln Town Car, it became a mainstream option for most Ford V8s. It also became a dependable choice for daily driving, even for those who didn't need high performance. This engine had 281 cubic inches of displacement, or 4.6 liters, and produced 260 horsepower and 305 pound-feet of torque. Its bore was 3.55 inches and its stroke measured 3.54 inches. It was famous for surpassing 300,000 miles, like in the Panther platform Crown Victoria, a favorite of police departments and taxi companies. Its reliability made it perfect for heavy-duty tasks. In 2001, Ford introduced an improved version which increased power and a redesigned plastic composite intake structure, which solved issues like warping and coolant leaks. This 2-valve 4.6-liter engine remained in production until 2014, earning its legendary reputation for being strong, dependable, and long-lasting. The Pontiac Motor Division introduced the 2.5-liter Iron Duke engine in the late 1970s, designed to be reliable and fuel-efficient during a time of high oil prices. This inline 4-cylinder engine featured durable timing gears that kept the valve timing accurate over its lifespan. With an iron block and iron cylinder head, the Iron Duke became known for its toughness and was much more reliable than the earlier Vega inline 4 engine. This engine quickly gained popularity across various General Motors brands due to its dependable performance. The Iron Duke had a displacement of 151 cubic inches, or 2.5 liters, producing 110 horsepower and 135 pound-feet of torque. Its 4-inch bore and 3-inch stroke made it a balanced, solid choice. In the early 1980s, it was updated and renamed the Tech 4, featuring electronic throttle body injection. By 1984, it became the standard engine for the Pontiac Fiero, solidifying its role in GM's lineup. The Iron Duke also powered the third-generation Camaro introduced in 1982, delivering 90 horsepower. While not known for high performance, this engine earned a reputation for being tough and long-lasting. Grumman adopted it for the United States Postal Service's long-life vehicle in 1987, and many of these vehicles used the 2.5-liter Tech 4 engine for over 30 years. This made the Iron Duke one of the most enduring engines in its class. The Chrysler 318, also known as the Magnum 5.2-liter V8, was a key part of Chrysler's LA engine line. While the 340 cubic inch version got most of the attention, the 318 was built to be sturdy, well-running, and fuel-efficient, offering a reliable alternative to Chrysler's Slant 6 motor. Its mild tuning and balanced bore-to-stroke ratio made it dependable, solidifying its reputation among small-block engines. The 318 cubic inch 5.2-liter compact engine delivered 230 horsepower and 340 pound-feet of torque. It had a 3.96-inch bore and a 3.31-inch stroke. Operating from 1968 to 2002, it was updated in 1992 with roller camshafts, redesigned cylinder heads for better airflow and fuel injection, earning it the name Magnum 5.2. This newer version powered Chrysler's trucks, passenger cars, and Jeep vehicles after Chrysler acquired AMC in 1987. In recent years, the 318 has gained popularity in the racing community. With stroker kits, it can be turned into a high-performance 390 cubic inch engine. Its adaptability and reliability have made it one of Chrysler's most versatile V8 engines. The Ford Lima 2.3-liter, also called the Pinto engine, was first produced in Europe before being modified and manufactured at Ford's Lima, Ohio plant. It featured an overhead camshaft powered by a timing belt, which helped reduce engine noise and avoided the stretching issues of timing chains, though it required more frequent replacements. With a displacement of 140 cubic inches, or 2.3 liters, the Lima engine delivered 175 horsepower and 210 pound-feet of torque. It featured a 3.78-inch bore and a 3.13-inch stroke. This naturally aspirated engine was robust and durable, but slightly heavy. When turbocharged, it powered iconic Ford cars of the 1980s, such as the Ford Thunderbird Turbo Coupe and the Fox Body Mustang SVO. With increased power and speed through turbocharging, the Lima engine became a favorite among performance car enthusiasts. Chevrolet's small block engines, both Gen 1 and Gen 2, were immensely influential in the automotive community. Known for their toughness and reliability, these engines could run efficiently for decades with proper maintenance. The first generation small block boasted a 350 cubic inch or 5.7-liter engine, producing 370 horsepower and 380 pound-feet of torque. It had a 4-inch bore and a 3.48-inch stroke. The Gen 2 small blocks of the late 1980s featuring improvements like better cooling, fuel injection, and roller camshafts, making them even more powerful and durable. Although designed in the 1950s, the Chevrolet small block remained competitive and stayed in production for nearly 50 years. Its legendary performance continues to outshine many modern engines. Do you know of any other reliable engines we didn't mention in this video? Let us know in the comments. While you're here, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons and check out our other videos for more exciting car content.